welcome back. Today I am joined by Kay Havens, who is with the El Toro Water District. And we're going to talk about something that you see just about every day. But the name for it that she wants to refer to it as is called urban drool. Well, Kay, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm well. And how are you, Lisa?
Good. And of course, we love the name urban drool because, you know, like you said, you want to try and catch the attention of all of us. And I think that definitely does that. Can you tell me what it is?
Okay, so when you're out in the neighborhoods or driving through the neighborhoods or out walking the dog, you'll notice that there's water in the streets. There's a little water going down the gutters. And what it really is unnatural dry weather flows. So anything that runs off of the environment other than rain is an unnatural dry weather flow. Mm-hmm. It often comes from inefficient sprinklers, broken sprinklers, runoff from neighborhoods. I think residents are actually pretty good. So it's basically, any of that water that you see in the streets. And one of the reasons we have to get after it too is it can create a lot of maintenance problems as well. So urban drool.
Yeah, well, that makes a lot of sense. And of course, when you are, I do it every morning. I walk my dog and I do notice that, man, those sidewalks are soaked and so is the grass. But so are you saying that maybe they're on too long or something like that?
Sometimes it's just a little, like a mower will run over them and it will adjust the angle just a little bit. I know that they have guys that go around regularly, but it's the broken heads. It's the big gushers that we really need to get after first and foremost, and then the little adjustments of the sprays. So anytime something's broken, we should be sure to report it because that's your money going down the drain.
Ah, good point. So what are some of the negative effects of the urban drool?
Well, we often, it kind of flows right by and we don't notice what is it actually doing, but it has a significant negative effect on habitat health. So all that water has to go somewhere, right? And it ends up in the local streams and the oceans. And what it's carrying with it is, your tires wear out, all the tire wear ends up washing into the creeks and oceans, our beloved Aliso Creek.
Oh.
Fertilizers, herbicides, trash, grit, leaves. It's a good thing to keep up with the street sweeping, but a lot of those things end up getting washed down the storm drains. And what happens is our creeks, if you can imagine all that debris, it fills them up and it changes the flow. So all that grit and debris can really mess things up. And it's something simple that we can help with. It starts right at your door. So let's get it done.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, that's kind of a shame that you think that all of that yucky stuff is actually flowing out into the ocean because you said it goes through Aliso Creek. So there's that little waterway that goes out onto the sand. And they usually don't want you playing in that area, but I have brought my children there before, and of course, that's the most exciting place to play.
Right. We love water, and at El Toro Water, we really love water, and so we want to make sure that it stays as clean as possible, and it starts with everybody chipping in and keeping that runoff to a minimum.
Okay. All right. Well, let's shift gears a little bit, and let's talk about some of the watersheds.
Right. So we have a map, I think, that you can show, and you'll see it's county-wide. So we are just a small part of the effort to keep this urban drool out of the natural environment. Our neighborhood agency, Moulton Niguel Water District, has been doing a lot of research on this. And in order for us to be able to do future planning for how to keep the creek as healthy as possible, they've been taking data, not in Laguna Woods, but in their district, to see how much water is actually flowing off of neighborhoods. And you would be astounded at how much water flows into the natural environment from our environment.
Wow. Okay.
So,
that is concerning because, like you said, that's just money going down the drain, and we pay for it.
It really is. And going forward into the future, we have to be more and more careful. This, like the very first slide showed that half of the water we use goes into our landscapes. And if half of that is being wasted, that's an easy place to start. So,
Right.
you know, it's just raising awareness.
Okay, perfect. And then what are some of the runoff reduction efforts that you guys are doing, or maybe the community is doing?
Well, countywide, we're doing this where we're reaching out and telling people about urban drool. We are also, like I said, Molten Nagel is doing the research, figuring out what the patterns are. As you can imagine, it's, you know, whenever the sprinklers come on, that's when the flow begins.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you know, just telling people, because a lot of times, like you and I both know, we walk in the morning and there's just like, you get on with your day. But telling people that that's a problem keeps it in people's minds. And so let's just take care of it. The data is really, really interesting. They're going to be developing programs. They've developed an app in Molten Nagel to help people see that, you know, you really are wasting a lot of water. We don't have something like that for Laguna Woods because El Toro, I mean, that's a lot of money to spend, but
Right.
it's interesting seeing what other people have done, and it's significant, So we, you know, we really want to reduce that runoff. So.
Okay, excellent. And then, so you have one slide here where it says bringing it all together. Maybe you can just highlight that.
Well, as we've been saying, we all care about our creeks and our beaches. Aliso Creek ends up right down below the montage. So if you think that, you know, of all of the water in Orange County filtering down into Aliso, that filters into Aliso Creek and ending up down there, we want that to be as clean as possible. So everybody needs to do their share. It also, you know, fertilize correctly, be careful with those herbicides. It all adds up. One little drop and another little drop, another little drop ends up being a pretty big flow. So one small change can save a lot. And urban drool represents a lot of money going right down the drain. So
exactly. Now, if our residents do find something that they would like to report regarding the water that they see, who should they contact?
Just call resident services. Good old resident services will get it to the right spot. So resident services is 949-597-4600. Be sure you can report the cross streets and the closest adjacent unit so that they can find it. Because as you can imagine, there are thousands of pipes throughout Laguna Woods Village. And we do have an active crew and landscape that needs to stay on top of it, but you'll certainly help them out if you say it's at XYZ, narrow it down for them.
Oh, that's excellent. Well, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for alerting us about this. It's like you said, something we don't necessarily pay attention to, but I think we all will be doing it now. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And, you know, at El Toro Water District, we're coming up on a big anniversary.
Oh, really?
Yes, September 26th, we will have been a water district for 60 years. So we're very excited about that. And we were planning a big party, but we can't have a big party with all the COVID restrictions, but we still are getting word out. So maybe we can do a virtual party or something.
Yeah, really.
We're really excited that we've been serving the community for 60 years now.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. And thank you again, Kay.
Thank you very much, Lisa.
All right.
You have a great day.
Thank you.
And watch that urban drool.
All right.
Bye-bye now.
Bye. And we'll be right back after this.